Ever wondered why you feel on edge when you're stressed? Or why your heart races when you're anxious? It's all down to a hormone called cortisol. Let's dive into the fascinating world of stress and cortisol, two elements that are so interlinked, it's nearly impossible to mention one without the other. When you're facing a stressful situation, your body triggers a chain reaction that culminates in the production of cortisol, a hormone that is often referred to as the stress hormone. Imagine this. You're late for a crucial meeting and you're stuck in traffic. As the minutes tick by, you can feel your heart rate quicken, your palms become sweaty, and your mind races. This is your body's response to stress, and it's cortisol that's pulling the strings behind the scenes. Cortisol is produced by your adrenal glands, two small organs that sit atop your kidneys. When you're stressed, your brain sends a distress signal that gets the ball rolling. This signal prompts the release of another hormone called adrenocorticotropic hormone, which then stimulates your adrenal glands to produce cortisol. Cortisol is like your body's built-in alarm system. It controls your fear response and prepares your body to handle stress by flooding it with glucose, providing an immediate energy source to your large muscles. It also curbs functions that would be non-essential in a fight or flight situation and enhances your body's ability to repair itself. So you see, cortisol is not the villain it's often portrayed to be. In fact, it's a crucial ally in our survival, a helpful friend that readies our body to face stressful situations head-on. But, like any good thing, there can be too much of it. When your body is constantly on high alert, your cortisol levels can remain unnaturally high, leading to a host of health problems. So, cortisol is not the enemy here, but rather a helpful ally that prepares your body to handle stress. But what happens when this system goes into overdrive? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of cortisol in the upcoming scenes. Cortisol doesn't just appear from nowhere. It's produced in the adrenal glands under the control of the hypothalamus and pituitary gland in the brain. Now, let's delve into this process a little deeper. Picture this. You're faced with a stressful situation. Your brain, being the smart organ it is, immediately recognizes this stress. This recognition triggers the hypothalamus, a tiny region at the base of your brain, to spring into action. It releases a hormone known as corticotropin-releasing hormone, or CRH for short. CRH then makes a quick journey to the pituitary gland, which is just below the hypothalamus. This gland, often referred to as the master gland because it controls the functions of many other glands in the body, responds to the arrival of CRH by producing another hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, or ACTH. From here, ACTH enters the bloodstream and travels to its final destination, the adrenal glands. These are small, triangular-shaped glands located on top of your kidneys. Once ACTH reaches the adrenal glands, it stimulates the production of cortisol. But the production of cortisol isn't a one-way street. In fact, it's a finely tuned feedback loop. When your body has produced enough cortisol, the high levels of this hormone will back to the hypothalamus and pituitary gland to stop producing CRH and ACTH, respectively. This intricate system ensures that your body maintains an optimal balance of cortisol. Now, it's worth noting that this process doesn't just happen when you're stressed. It's actually part of your body's daily rhythm. Cortisol levels naturally peak in the morning to help you wake up and start your day, then gradually decline throughout the day. This daily pattern of cortisol release is known as the cortisol awakening response. So every time you're stressed, this complex process kicks into action to produce cortisol. But what does cortisol do once it's in your system? Cortisol is a busy hormone. It has a host of effects on your body, all designed to help you handle stress. Now let's delve into the nitty-gritty of what exactly cortisol does in our bodies. First off, under stressful conditions, cortisol stimulates the heart, prompting an increase in heart rate. This is your body's way of preparing for the metaphorical or literal fight-or-flight situation it perceives. It's a survival mechanism that has been with us since the dawn of mankind, helping our ancestors escape from predators or other threats. Next, cortisol acts on your metabolism. It triggers the release of glucose into your bloodstream to provide an immediate energy source for your muscles. It's like your body's very own energy drink, ready to power you up when you need it the most. In addition to these effects, cortisol has a significant impact on your immune system. It suppresses immune responses to ensure that your body's resources are not diverted away from dealing with the immediate stressor. This is why you may find that you're more susceptible to colds and other infections during periods of high stress. Cortisol also influences your memory. It can enhance the consolidation of traumatic memories, a mechanism that might have been useful for our ancestors who needed to remember dangerous situations in order to avoid them in the future. Moreover, cortisol plays a crucial role in maintaining your body's fluid balance and blood pressure. It does this by acting on your kidneys to control the balance of water and electrolytes in your body. Finally, cortisol has a hand in your sleep cycle as well. It follows a daily rhythm, peaking in the morning to help you wake up, and declining throughout the day to allow you to wind down and sleep. But while cortisol can be helpful in the short term, long-term exposure to cortisol can have negative effects on your health. So it's crucial to manage stress effectively to maintain a healthy balance of cortisol in our bodies. And that's what we'll explore in our next scene, the dark side of cortisol. Stay tuned. Long-term stress can lead to long-term exposure to cortisol, and that can have some serious effects on your health. Think of cortisol as a fire alarm. In the short term, it's a lifesaver, alerting you to danger and preparing your body for action. However, if that alarm keeps ringing day in and day out, it becomes detrimental. Let's start with weight gain. When your body is constantly on high alert, it demands more energy. This leads to an increased appetite, and in particular, cravings for high sugar and high fat foods. Over time, this can result in weight gain, especially around the abdomen. But the effects of cortisol don't stop there. High levels of cortisol can also lead to high blood pressure. Remember, cortisol prepares your body for a fight or flight response. Part of this response involves constricting your blood vessels and increasing your heart rate, which raises your blood pressure. Over time, this can damage your blood vessels and heart, increasing your risk of heart disease. Cortisol also has a significant impact on your immune system. It suppresses your immune response to keep it from overreacting to stress. While this might be useful in the short term, chronic stress means chronic immune suppression. This can make you more susceptible to infections, slow down your wound healing, and even increase your risk of cancer. Additionally, cortisol can affect your sleep, mood, and even your memory. High cortisol levels can disrupt your sleep cycle, leading to insomnia. It can also contribute to mood disorders like depression and anxiety. As for your memory, too much cortisol can impair your brain's ability to form new memories and retrieve old ones. Finally, let's not forget about diabetes. Cortisol increases your blood sugar levels to provide your body with the energy it needs for a fight or flight response. However, long-term exposure to cortisol can lead to consistently high blood sugar levels, increasing your risk of type 2 diabetes. So, while cortisol is crucial for dealing with stress, it's important to manage your stress levels to prevent these long-term health effects. So, we've learned that cortisol is a crucial hormone that helps your body handle stress. It's produced in the adrenal gland, released into the bloodstream, and travels throughout the body, influencing many physiological processes. Cortisol has a natural rhythm, peaking in the morning and decreasing throughout the day. This rhythm is generated by the suprachiasmatic nuclei of the hypothalamus, a master clock of sorts, controlling the release of cortisol. But it's not just the hypothalamus that holds this molecular clock. It's also present in many peripheral tissues in the body. Now, the effects of cortisol are mediated by two types of receptors: mineralocorticoid receptors and glucocorticoid receptors. They work together in a complementary fashion to ensure that cortisol exerts its influence where it's needed. But here's the catch. For cortisol to have its optimal physiological effects, the central signal controlling its release and the peripheral rhythms in tissues where the receptors are expressed need to be aligned. Misalignment of these rhythms can lead to adverse effects on the immune system, cardiovascular system, and metabolism, to name a few. But cortisol is not all doom and gloom. As part of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal, or HPA axis, It plays a crucial role in helping us adapt to changes in our environment. It's intertwined with our sleep cycles, and research suggests a reciprocal relationship between sleep and the activity of the HPA axis. And let's not forget the cortisol-sleep connection. Too much cortisol can lead to sleep disturbances, including insomnia. It's a delicate balance, and it's regulated not just by cortisol itself, which has a feedback inhibition on the HPA axis, but also by neurotransmitters like norepinephrine, GABA, and glutamate. To wrap things up, the key takeaway is this: cortisol is essential to our survival, but like anything else, it needs to be in balance. Chronic stress can throw off this balance, leading to a host of health issues. Remember, it's not the stress itself, but how you handle it that matters. So take care of your body, manage your stress, and keep your cortisol levels in check.